Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, and I'll be planning the week of July 8th through the 14th using NikkiPlusThree's May Limited Edition kit in rose gold foil. But for my foil, I chose pink foil and Scribble Prints Co's rose gold. So this kit didn't include headers, so I decided to use some foiled headers from my shop in pink foil. And I like to stagger my headers from top to bottom. And I also used the decorative headers from the kit. Also, the layout of the EC is actually very easy to line up since they don't have the gap. So you just have to line the top header with the top bar and the bottom header with the bottom one. And you'll able to fit 3 headers and 3 full boxes straight down. And you can also leave a gap from the bottom washi. And here I'm flipping through my stash of glitter headers from Scribble Prints Co. And I didn't want to put down the bow overlay since it was just clear paper, and the top bar, since it's a curved edge, it'll be able to be seen. So I just looked through my stash and was able to find a close match to that light pink color. So now I'm laying down my full box for my sidebar, and I chose the quote box. And if you line the quote box with the second line, you'll be able to have even spacing from the side and the top. And here I used an extra notebook I had to lift up the left side of the spread so it will be even for each side. And here I'm putting down the full boxes, and it was actually an equal number of, like, there was 2 patterns of each, so then I just distributed among both sides, and I made sure that both didn't have like similar clip art in each. And for the middle header, you just have to line it up with the top of the full box, and everything should be equal. And now I'm putting down the overlays for the no white space look, or the white space look. So now I'm putting down the headers overlay from OnceMoreWithLove, and I put down an extra foiled header on the right side of the spread by accident, so I just added it to the sidebar. And now I'm finishing up putting down the headers. So for the sidebar, I put down a weekly box to mark down the dinners that I ate. And then I put down a half box from Scribble Prints Co. to mark something exciting that happened this week. Then I put down a to-do label, or a to-do header, and then a checklist box. And then I put down another half box, but from the kit, to mark down that it was my first and last week of my internship. But for the checklist, I actually just wanted to first cut it and make it into 2 full checklists. But then I didn't like how it was cutting, and it really made it look really weird because it was premium matte paper. So you were able to see like the cut marks and where the seam was. So then I just added 1 full check box instead. So now I'm adding the bottom washi and This kit has a really skinny piece of washi and then a thicker piece of washi. So then I laid the thinner piece like a little lower than the full box to have a space, and then I added the thicker piece with a space in between, and it was just perfect. And I didn't need to trim the bottom of the washi. But for the right side, I had to trim the edge since it was past the full boxes, and I didn't like how it looked, so I just trimmed it. So this kit doesn't come with little things, so I looked through my leftover sheets and found some Hello Petite paper little things. So I used one to mark down that I was editing the plan with me from last week. And then I used an edit emoji from the Coffee Monsterz Co. And this whole spread has a lot of Coffee Monsterz Co. and a few OnceMoreWithLove's munchkins. And then I put down another little thing to mark down I was publishing the plan with me with the YouTube emoji. Then I put down a work label from the Coffee Monsterz Co. And that was my first day of internship, and I had orientation. So then underneath the work label, I put down a meeting emoji and then wrote orientation in a fancy label. And I purposely put that full box on Monday since I got an exciting call from my college saying that I got a job position there. So then for the bottom of Monday, I put down a half box and crying emoji saying that I felt so loved. So I forgot to put down my date covers before, so now I'm putting it down. And then I'll be writing out all the things that happened for Monday. So then for Tuesday, I didn't like that they didn't have, this kit doesn't come with rounded half boxes, so I just looked through my stash again and found one that matched with the colors from Scribble Prints Co. and to mark down that my brother went to LA for VidCon. And then I put down a work label from the Coffee Monsterz Co. And then in between that, I put down another little thing from Hello Petite paper to mark down that I had new releases for my shop. And then for the middle box, I used a half box from the kit and I put it vertically, and then that just took up the whole space to mark down that I was very tired from a long day of internship. And then for Wednesday, I put down another work label and another little thing to mark down that I had lunch from McDonald's with a McDonald's emoji. And then I used a piece of washi from the kit with a YouTube emoji to mark down that I published my B6 rings flip through. Then I used a appointment label with a munchkin on the computer to mark down that I watched Good Trouble and Grand Hotel. And then I put down a half box at the bottom to mark down that it was the Prime Day concert with a Valentine's Day emoji. I thought it suited well since I love the musical performances. So then I put down a squared off box from Scribble Prints Co. to mark down that there was so much paperwork for the new job that I'll be going to. And then I'll be filling out my sidebar that I forgot to fill out. And I actually don't remember what I ate for Monday through Wednesday since I didn't mark it down in my everyday carry planner. So then for the sidebar, I marked down I had the orientation, I had to do new releases, record the voiceover for this plan with me, or last week's plan with me, publish it, and then start packing for my trip, and then film this week's plan with me. So then for Thursday, I used another work label and then a fancy label from the kit with a post office emoji. Since I needed to get a money order for the new job position, I had to pay a fee and they would only accept money order. So then I put down a squared off quarter box from the kit, and I used a book flight munchkin, or what would you call it, clip art from OnceMoreWithLove, to mark down that I booked my flights to Austin, Texas for a Scribble Prints Co. party. And then for the bottom, I used two little things from Hello Petite Paper, and then I used a bow icon from Scribble Prints Co. to mark down the two TV shows I watched, Jane the Virgin and The 100. And then at the bottom, I used a half box to mark down that it was raining, and I rushed to school to try to get some answers for my paperwork, but it turned out to be pointless since the supervisor already left from a family emergency. So then here I'm writing everything out, and I also put down a strip of washi in between the squared off quarter box and the header, since there was a gap there and I didn't have anything to mark. So then here on the 12th, or Friday, I marked down that it was 1 week till London and Paris, and that's the trip I'll be going to next week. And then I used a number 1 sticker from my shop, and I actually used this idea from KPL Plans, and she used it actually on the sidebar, but I wanted to mark it on Friday. So then I put down another work label, or no, I'm filling out the sidebar. And sorry if my head's in the way, or in the frame. Now back to Friday, I put down a work label and then a tiny strip of squared off box to mark down that it was my last day. And then at the bottom, I put down a packing list I put down a fancy label and wrote down packing list since I wanted to make one. And then I put down a piece of washi to mark down I wanted to design some new stickers for my shop. And I put down a appointment label and a icon from the kit, a shopping cart icon to mark down that my mom wanted to go grocery shopping that day. And then I put down a squared off quarter box, and a bow from Scribble Prints Co. to mark down the TV shows that I watch, The Code and Blood and Treasure. And then for Saturday, I marked using a quarter or half box for my big doggy's vet appointment. Also, who's excited for Lion King to come out next week or on the 19th? I'm very excited since all my animals are pretty much named after the Lion King. I originally had Simba, but he passed away 2 years ago. So then we got another doggy, or we adopted another doggy from Animal Haven, and we named him Kion, which is Simba's son. And I have a cat named Kiara, and then I have another dog named Copa, which is also Simba's son. Kiara is Simba's daughter. So after the half box, I put down a squared off box to mark down that I was cleaning my desk again. And for some reason, I don't know why I always make a mess out of my desk, and I can't keep it clean. So then I always have to mark it down that I always need to clean my desk. eventually I make it clean. So then for after that, I put down a label again from the kit to write down that I started packing, and then I put down the weekend banner at the bottom, and then I put down another squared off box to mark down that I did my nails, and a little thing from Hello Petite Paper for my TV show that I watched, iZombie. And then I wanted to put down the label at the bottom, but I didn't really want to use it since I wanted to mark something big that day. And I actually pre-filmed this on Friday, so I technically don't know what's actually happening on Saturday and Sunday. So I just left those blank, and then I filled them out off camera. So then for the top of Sunday, I used a label to mark down that I was filming this plan with me, which was a lie since I filmed it on Friday. And then I used a strip of washi with a Instagram icon from Scribble Prints Co to mark down that I wanted to sneak the new releases, but I actually just published them instead. So then I used a half box label, and I forgot that I had a dentist appointment. So eventually off camera I put down a alarm clock icon and then I wrote down dentist appointment. So then for the bottom of Sunday, I actually layered 2 half boxes from Scribble Prints Co, and I didn't know what I was going to layer it with or write what I wanted to put in there, so I just ended up leaving it blank. And here I'm actually putting down corner overlays in some of the boxes where I wanted to have extra foil inside to make the whole spread sparkle and shine bright. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Until next time, bye!